Greetings, Indie Warriors! Welcome to the first Dream Drop of the new year. Happy 2026! I know we're beyond excited for another huge year in indie gaming, and hopefully you'll be along with us for the ride as each Monday we go over all the amazing indie and AA game releases, this time for the week of January 5th through the 11th, 2026. Wow, that's weird to say. My name's Old Gamer Joe. Great to have you here. Be sure to like, subscribe, and support independent content just like this at patreon.com/idreamofindiegames, where your new indie gaming community is waiting for you. Do note that this list does not include early access titles, and any titles that use AI of any kind now have their own section at the end of the video, which can be skipped for those who aren't interested. Alright, let's do this. First up this year, how exciting, is brand new open world adventure game DuneCrawl. This cartoony action title can be played alone or with up to 3 friends and tasks you with driving a gigantic crab crawler across a sandy sea, visiting dozens of islands with their own dungeons, quests, and piles of loot. The world is being invaded by a bunch of potheads, ceramic pots on their heads, not the other kind of pothead, and you'll need to take them all out with various upgradable weapons, big rideable beetles, or with your cannons on your crab crawler. The colorful world of DuneCrawl can be explored on January 5th, and our full review of the game is live right now here on the channel. This next one is finally leaving early access after almost 3.5 years, and with lots of positive reviews under its belt, Terra Invicta is set to make an impact for tactical sim games. As aliens begin to invade Earth, you'll need to pick one of 7 factions and fight to gain control of Earth before expanding into space to fight off the alien invasion. The game is touted as hard sci-fi meets strategy, and there's a lot of stats and menus to juggle, so if you're a hardcore strategy gamer, there's plenty of content to sink your teeth into. You can save, sacrifice, or destroy the planet when Terra Invicta launches in full on the 5th. Cats are pretty sneaky and do often require their owners to be on constant alert to where they are, and in 100 Los Angeles cats, you'll need to find all 100 cats in the colorful hand-drawn landscape of LA. You'll need your glasses as the cats are hidden everywhere and they're not easy to find in this expansive 2D image. You can play the game in black and white or in color to find all the kittens, and with just one level you'll be looking for a while as those felines are very hard to put your eyes on. Can you get all 100 of them on the 5th? If you've always wanted to go metal detecting but simply don't have the patience to spend hours trawling around your local park, then perhaps Retro Relics can help you live out your treasure hunting dreams. This pixel world is full of treasures, and it's up to you to explore nature and search for relics with your metal detector. And once you've found a historical relic, you can display it in your collection, decorate your own museum even. While you're on your treasure hunting journey, you can tidy up the landscape, search for townsfolk's lost things, and watch animals return to their habitats. Search for treasure when Retro Relics is unearthed this week. If you're looking for an idle clicker to bring in the new year, then Feed the Reactor is all about sitting back, relaxing, and feeding a reactor to create entirely new forms of energy. You'll need to feed the reactor with different fuels to hit higher and higher energy levels and upgrade your tools and unlock elements to create even more powerful combos. Click away to your heart's content when Feed the Reactor drops on the 6th. Also launching on the 6th, and perhaps a little more hands-on, is Souls-like roguelite Metroidvania Death Machine. This stylish side-scroller has our protagonist stuck in a dark machine citadel where everything is out to get you and you'll need to outrun, outmaneuver, and outfight your enemies. You'll find hidden chambers, discover new items, and assemble the perfect build to get you through. You can cash items in by returning to Sanctuary or wreak demonic havoc and fight till the end. If tower defense is more your style, then Malon is almost certainly something you should put on your wish list. Malon is all about managing a frontier army outpost and building up your defenses so that when night falls and your enemies attack, you're prepared for their assault. If you don't prepare enough, you'll struggle to combat the growing enemy forces and let your settlement get overrun. Upgrade your soldiers, barracks, and settlements in this top-down minimalist strategy game when Malon launches on the 6th. Another city builder now, but this one is in space. Ooh! In Final Frontier Story, you're tasked with building the friendliest city in the galaxy, developing land, building shops, parks, and other attractions to make your citizens happier. This cozy city builder is also accompanied by space monster fighting, which you'll need to do in order to expand and upgrade your city. Plus, you may make a few new friends on your journeys, battle enemies, organize alien tourist traps, and build a colorful, cozy city when Final Frontier Story drops this week. Have you been looking for a new arena shooter with some sweet old-school visuals? Well then, how about Vital Shell, where you get to control a variety of fantasy-themed mechs while unlocking epic new abilities, weapons, and more. The challenge grows with each new run as you take down wave after wave of foes. I love the PS1 style of the game, and with so many different build combinations, it should keep mech fans busy for hours on end. If you love mech battling and fantasy elements, this should be tossed on your wish list straight away. There's never enough monster-catching RPGs in the world, so why not add yet another one to your collection? On the 7th, you can have EvoCreo. It's going to take a bite out of the competition. With great retro pixel art, you're on a journey to find your missing father and take down the dastardly Shadow Hive. Catch over 170 monsters and train them for battle, and then customize them to your heart's content. Plus, it seems like down the road, the developers will be adding online modes, meaning that you'll be able to go head-to-head against other collectors. See if you can catch them all this week. I suppose with a title like Bots and Mods, you more or less know what you're going to be getting. Bots and mods, of course. This is a robot workshop sim set in a cyberpunk universe. Now there's something you don't see every day. The game features a good sense of humor around it as you repair various robots and even explore dark caves mining for resources. There's crafting, there's upgrading, silly characters, and full Steam Deck support to look forward to in this great-looking indie release coming to us from Bit66. Now, this doesn't look like the farm I grew up on. Despite its appearance, Ancient Farm is indeed a farm sim of sorts where you'll till the lands, water crops, do all the usual farmy things. Produce epic buildings and temples across ancient Egypt, and make sure to take care of all those lovable farm animals too. Moo! The game has a robust set of options and should be something different for fans of the genre looking to change it up a bit. Personally, I'll be spending most of my time producing beer in this one. Play as Daddy in Kinsfolk, launching on the 8th. This exploration title should take players under an hour to complete, but hits on tough emotional themes that will resonate with the dads of the world in particular. Face the challenges of youth through adulthood in this impactful series of short stories that will be accompanied by a rousing musical score. Just make sure you have some tissues handy because something tells me that Kinsfolk has the potential to be an absolute tearjerker. It's also playable on Steam Deck, which should make for a nice, quick, portable experience. After a long, cozy stay in early access, Cozy Caravan is finally ready for its massive 1.0 debut. Pack up your adorable caravan with all sorts of cute trinkets and get ready to hit the road as you prepare for the infamous Whiz Bang Fair. Sounds like a pretty good time to me. This stress-free experience has you traveling to your heart's content, spreading love and joy across the world. Pick through adorable outfits, make some friends, and fall in love with this indie release that so many people absolutely loved during early access. It's great that the project will now finally see the light of day, and it looks like there's even going to be a Switch version. With a title like WTF Am I Playing, you know you're in for something a little bit different. This is an over-the-top retro FPS with chickens. What else do you really need to know about it? Nothing will really make sense in this chaotic mindfuck that features over-the-top weapons such as guitars and spatulas. An insane visual aesthetic is also on display, and enemies include giant burgers and gorillas. You can't make this stuff up, folks. The madness is only said to last around 3 hours or so, but count me in. I love little indie projects like this one. Whoa, just a second there, indie warriors. Before we continue on with this list, well, we've got to take a moment for one more amazing indie, courtesy of our awesome indie sponsor who helped to make this show possible this week. It's Ayati, and we're talking about Dreamstory, coming soon to the Steam PC platform with a demo for the game available right now. You can wishlist this title for yourself and try that demo out that I just mentioned using the link in our description box below. Watch your dreams slowly turn into the darkest of nightmares in this exciting new RPG that is heavily inspired by releases such as the indie classic Undertale and the beloved Paper Mario franchise. Prepare yourselves for some intense psychological horror and epic turn-based battles in Dreamstory, which honestly has had me smiling ever since I laid eyes on its gorgeous retro aesthetics. You'll need to take control of lead character Priscilla, who's on a quest to save the realm of dreams. It's a gorgeous world full of mystery and intrigue, one that won't be short on challenge either. There are delectably smart puzzles to be solved, some very tricky platforming sections which will push your skills to the limits, and no shortage of memorable characters just like so many other classic RPGs that you know and love. Outside of the turn-based mechanics, players should anticipate entertaining minigames, some of which are based around bullet hell gameplay. See, I told you this wasn't going to be easy. But above all else, Priscilla has a unique mimic ability which allows her to copy her enemies directly and then use their own powers against them, giving these foes a not-so-happy new year. So just what are you waiting for, Indie Warriors? Use the link right down there in our description box below and toss Dreamstory right on your wishlist today. And while you're over there, go ahead and download the demo for yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. Alright, that's enough daydreaming. Let's get back to those sweet indie releases. Grab some friends and get ready for some intense shooting action in Shadows of Soldiers, coming to us from Ghost in the Wire. While this isn't my usual genre, the game looks very well made for what it is and will feature various different classes and game modes for users to try and master. Throw in a full cover system and you've got yourself a wildly ambitious shooter from a very small indie team. According to the Steam page, the game remains in active development, so I'm not entirely sure if it's going to be free to play or what, but if you like team-based action titles like this, it's worth at least tossing on your wishlist as it releases in some form this week. Move over, Mario Kart. There's a new kart racer hitting the indie scene. Well, kind of new. It's Kart Island, now seeing release on the Nintendo Switch and coming to us from Grumpy Pizza Games. A great name, by the way, for a studio. This is an open-world kart racer with no shortage of cartoonish characters to unlock and plenty of drifting to be done. Expect a full story mode, 34 different animal characters, and tons of play modes with 84 different challenges. It's a kart racing fan's dream, and it races to the finish line on January 9th. If you prefer the Steam version that was previously released just 2 months ago. The third game in the Pathologic series will see release this week. It's Pathologic 3, of course. It would be the third one. This horror experience only gives you a mere 12 days to stop an evil plague from wiping out all of humanity. No pressure, right? You'll need to make very tough choices, examine people closely, and piece together clues if you hope to have a prayer of being this dark world's hero. And who knows, is this even a world worth saving? It's hard to say, but only one way to find out, by grabbing Pathologic 3 for yourself this week. Legends are forever in our next indie release, Legends of Savvarah, Flowers and Scorpions. In this choose-your-own-adventure visual novel of sorts, you'll unravel a very dark story involving lead character Nakaria, who appears to be an agent sent from God. This open-ended text-based adventure will feature a whopping 8 different endings, romance options, and plenty more when it releases on the 9th. And while we're on the topic, it's been a really long time since I've even played a visual novel, but there's no shortage of them releasing on a weekly basis, that's for sure. Here's the follow-up to a game that I have no earthly clue about called Paradise. This is Paradise Masubi, which will pick up right from where the last game left off, assuming you were able to unlock the good ending. Expect more characters to encounter, more unlockable art, more everything in this feel-good visual novel that won't be short on the spice. You can start your reading adventure as soon as the 9th rolls around. And now on to an adorable strategy game, which reminds me a bit of the art style of Plants vs. Zombies. This is EvoLit from Steelheart Games. You'll need to come up with the best strategic layout in order to take down cute little fuzzy wuzzies heading your way. But I don't want to hurt them. They may look cute, but they're out for blood, so get building that ultimate tower and prepare for an addictive gameplay loop that will have you glued to your screen on the 9th. It's the perfect mix of chaos and cute. Have you got the itch for some gambling? Oh, I'm itching right now. Well, then perhaps Gambler's Tale is worth rolling the dice on. It'll be releasing on the 11th. Snake Eyes, kind of. This incremental title will have you tossing about coins in an attempt to earn even more of them. Flip those coins and earn those upgrades, or hire a cute little buddy to take over for a while and do all the flipping for you. And what's this? There's unlockable hats? I'm sold. Ante up later this week. Alright, now we're entering the Thunderdome, those pesky games with AI disclosures. We have a few this week, though the amount of AI used on each title seems to vary drastically. We begin with Fickle Card Legend, coming to us from a developer whom I have no prayer of saying their name because I don't understand that language. It's being described as a side-scroller that features non-turn-based card combat. That's right, non-turn-based card combat. Expect to gather tons of different gear, take down nasty bosses, and learn unique card synergies as one of 3 classic RPG paths. The AI disclosure reads, and I quote, "This game extensively utilizes AI technology in character design, UI, visual effects, sound effects, music, and promotional artwork, enhancing production efficiency while exploring innovative styles." That's a no from me, dog, but we know at least a few of you are interested as this game did have followers. Do with that information what you will. The game will release on the 8th. Arcane Rivals is next on our list, an indie fighting game that also features an AI disclosure, though this seems to be only related to, quote, store assets, whatever that means. This isn't your usual fighting game, as you'll need to combo together hand signs, mastering the game's tricky timings. You can also apparently use your voice to some degree, making this a very unusual indie, but hey, it has at least a few followers, so someone's interested, thus, here it is on the list. Arcane Rivals drops on the 6th. Another game which utilizes AI during dialogue sequences on character avatars and other 3D images is Dead Rock Salvation, coming to us from Ghost Machine. This open-world Western RPG has no shortage of old-timey shootouts, saloons, and tumbleweeds. Explore a dangerous world playing as Colt Dawson, and maybe in between the violence, find yourself a nice lady to settle down with. If you were looking for the indie equivalent of a Red Dead game, perhaps this one will be of interest to you, but probably not as good as those. Just a guess. You can add it to your indie gaming library regardless on the 8th, partner. And last, for games that utilized AI, would be Bunny Hopper, which is hopping onto the indie gaming scene on the 6th. According to the Steam page, AI was only used to create the game's banner, which is kinda odd. I mean, if you're gonna handcraft the whole game, why generate just a banner? Alright, it's a platformer shooter with tons of targets to take down and quick wall-running sections. There's lasers to avoid and paths to squeeze through in this fast-paced indie available on the 6th. And that's gonna do it for this week, folks. As always, thank you for all that you do for independent content. Like, subscribe, check out the Patreon. Hey, we know this whole AI thing is pretty divided. We ran a poll and it's 50-50 as to whether you want to see these games at all on this list. So what's an old gamer Joe supposed to do? We hope this is a great compromise and that the people not interested in AI were able to skip that section, and the people that have some interest or at least want to be warned about games that use AI can use that section for their own good. Voice to the voiceless, everybody. See you on the channel for more great indie gaming coverage.